Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm required to say this because I'm a YouTuber, and if I don't say it, nobody will hit the like button. So please hit the like button. Um, Welcome to the video. And yes, this is Battlefield 1 from 2016. I believe this was on Xbox. I'm not sure. But I found this old video file while I was searching for old PUBG videos the other day because I uploaded an old PUBG video a couple days ago and I came across this one. And the title of it was 84 and 0 tanking. And I realized the reason it still existed on my hard drive was because this is a Battlefield 1 video that I never actually edited or uploaded to YouTube. Crazy, right? I thought that all my insane matches had been uploaded, but here's this one just sitting there, never been touched. So I thought, well, since we made a nostalgic PUBG video the other day, why don't we revisit a nostalgic Battlefield 1 video? And there were two things that I really enjoyed in Battlefield 1. Obviously, the first was sniping. I think the sniper rifles in Battlefield 1 were as close to perfect as any Battlefield game has ever gotten it. And then the second thing, I had to fix my chair. The second thing I really enjoyed about Battlefield 1 was tanking. If you guys ever watched my channel pre PUBG, you would know that oh my god, that was so satisfying. Look at that. How was gaming so good in 2016? But you guys would know that I really played a lot of Battlefield, and before Battlefield, it was Call of Duty. Ugh, but Call of Duty actually used to be pretty good, like a decade ago. But anyway, Battlefield 1, man. I started watching this and contemplating whether or not I should make a video about it, and I was like, yeah, why not? It has been probably over 5 years since I uploaded any kind of Battlefield 1 content. And Battlefield 1 was such an amazingly fun game. And this was back in 2016. I feel like this was one, aside from PUBG, I feel like this was one of the last great games that I really enjoyed playing. That I just, oh, look at that. Just getting so many kills with this tank. I mean, there was just something about this game that was so well designed. And I don't know if anybody here remembers all the hype around Battlefield 1. But basically, it was competing with Call of Duty. Call of Duty was making all these futuristic games, and people just didn't want it anymore. They wanted, this guy's trying to hammer my tank. They wanted an old school game, like a World War One, World War Two type of game, because it had been a while since any of those came out. People were tired of all the futuristic Call of Duty crap, and they didn't want any more wall running or bunny hopping like Advanced Warfare. I think it was Infinite Warfare came out around the same time as Battlefield 1. I could be wrong. But yeah, there was so much hype. That was around the time that the Call of Duty trailer for the new Call of Duty got like so many dislikes. It was unbelievable. And the Battlefield 1 trailer was the opposite. It had so many likes. It was unbelievable. And they did a great job with Battlefield 1. They really did. They pulled a lot of Call of Duty players over to Battlefield. I would say they made Battlefield 1 a little more casual than Battlefield 4, which was a good thing, because the reason a lot of people wouldn't transition from Call of Duty to Battlefield was that it was such a high skill ceiling. And that was great for pro players and people that spend all their time playing Battlefield, but it really discouraged new players from joining in the fun. So Battlefield 1 was the perfect combination of, if you are a skilled player, you can totally dominate, but there's also room for new players to join in the fun and still be able to do pretty well while learning the game. And in my opinion, that formula that they used was perfect. They also did not release a game that was only halfway done. It did have some bugs in the beginning, but nothing like the latest Battlefield, which was Battlefield 2042. That game had so many bugs. It was basically... Look at all these guys just spawning right next to me. It was basically unplayable. I mean, people just quit. People just quit because they wouldn't fix it. They wouldn't release patches, and when they did, the patches didn't work, and there wasn't that much content, and like, it was bad. It was bad. There were so many bugs in Battlefield 2042. This hat's driving me crazy. Why did I put this hat on? Because I have hat hair going on. That's why. Or morning hair or whatever. Oh, so much better. But yeah, Battlefield 2042 was bugged up, man, and I really thought they were trying to, I really thought they were trying to like go back to the Battlefield 4 formula, where it was like going to be the nitty-gritty Battlefield, and I was ready because Battlefield 5, I think, was the one that came before it. That was not good. That was not very fun, and I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it. But Battlefield 1, I was spending hours and hours playing this game, streaming this game, playing with subscribers. We had the 1S 1K clan, and shortly after Battlefield 1 came out, PUBG came out, and then I started playing both games, and I honestly got addicted to PUBG because of the crazy addictive battle royale formula, and I started playing less and less Battlefield 1. Which brings me to my next point. I am destroying these guys. Wow. I love the tank repair mechanic. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. Anyway, sorry. Which brings me to my next point. What has happened to gaming, man? It seems like since the release of Battlefield 1 in 2016, other than PUBG, I have not seen any good shooters that are really worth switching to. Like, I've been playing PUBG since it came out, so that's 6 years, and I've never had a game on my YouTube channel that I've played for that long. 6 years is a very long time to play the same game. But somehow, in some way, PUBG is still on the top 10 most played games on Steam, and it is still relevant, even with the rise of other popular battle royales like Fortnite and Apex Legends and Warzone. So what the heck happened? Battlefield 1 came out, and it was amazing, and then all the other Battlefields were flops. And so PUBG kind of just took the interest of a lot of Battlefield players. I have so many friends that used to play Battlefield regularly that are now just consistent PUBG players. That's just how it went. And I guess people are still playing Battlefield 1. It is 7 years old now. But not me. I mean, I'm just sticking to PUBG. I don't really see a reason to go back to Battlefield 1. But I would like to see hype for another type of game that was as good as Battlefield 1. I mean, what happened? What happened to gaming, man? What I wouldn't give to just drive around in a tank in Battlefield and actually like have a good time without people flying around in wingsuits, dropping C4 from the sky and doing all kinds of crazy unrealistic things. Like, I know these are video games, but part of the reason we select the video games we select is for the realism factor. No video game is going to be a perfect representation or simulation of real life, but when you get a game like this, like Battlefield 1, that's a really good combination of realism and you still feel like you're having fun and playing a video game, I think the formula has been nailed. And I think at some point in time that formula has been forgotten by game developers and game designers, because what the heck, man? Why can't, I know I've said this already and I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but why can't we get another game like Battlefield 1? And this game was fucking awesome. Pardon my French, but it was fucking awesome. And seeing this nostalgic gameplay from 2016 looking at the graphics, I'm fairly certain this was from Xbox. I know it's from Xbox now because I see the little Y button down there, and one of my friends that's playing on my squad does not have a PC. So look at how good these graphics were on Xbox One back in 2016. I feel like the state of gaming, at least for shooters, is regressing. Like, go in the comments section and tell me some good shooters that have come out since 2016. And if I'm missing one, it's not going to be a Call of Duty. I'm sure there's some Call of Duty fanboys out there that are going to say Call of Duty, but I don't think any Call of Duty that has come out or any Battlefield that has come out since Battlefield 1 has anything on this game. I mean, it was balanced. The graphics were amazing. It worked good on PC and console as well. There was no crossplay. There was enough players on all the platforms to keep all the servers populated, and it was just a really good, fun time. So now I'm sad. Now I'm sad watching this, remembering how much crazy fun I had playing Battlefield 1. Oh my god. And I think the name of this video, the 84 and 0, was correct. Because I'm 41 kills and 0 deaths right now. So definitely have a really good squad and team that I'm on to allow me to keep doing this, and the enemy hasn't destroyed the tank yet. This is just nuts, man. Nuts. I really enjoy watching this. I'm glad I went back in my files and found some nostalgic gameplay. But I think I'm gonna end my rant about the state of gaming now, and just watch the rest of this video with you guys. We have taken objective George. I think I made this video right around the time when I actually started streaming on a regular basis, or recorded this gameplay, because this was never uploaded as a video. It's so foggy. I remember that sometimes the fog would upset me in Battlefield 1, because you could see enemies so far away, then all of a sudden the fog would come in and you just couldn't see anything. The self-repair on the tank, best feature ever. Unless you spawned in as a mechanic in Battlefield 4 and you could drive your tank somewhere safe, or unless you had a squad mate that was a mechanic, it was not going to work out very well. And we just captured Charlie. These sounds are so nostalgic as well. I remember the sounds of capturing the objectives and getting kills on the enemies. Just reminds me of a time when gaming was actually like very, very fun, and it was a new game that the whole community, the whole shooter community, was just enjoying. .44 and 0. Just going from objective to objective, killing the enemies I can see, and playing the objective as much as possible, trying not to get blown up. Wow. Second place on the leaderboard. There's some guy above me that only has 5 kills. He must be doing some kind of medic or support, because he has got a really high score. I can't believe I never uploaded this, man. We have taken objective Duff. This was one of my favorite maps for tanking too. It was very big, very open, and pretty easy to get your tank from objective to objective. 49 and 0. I remember I would keep my tank on the edge of the objectives until we had enough teammates to capture the objective. I would kill enough enemies, and when we had a majority of teammates on the objective, I would either move in if they needed help capping it, or I would just stay outside the objective, sacrifice the points, and keep killing the enemies that tried to run in. There's lots of different ways to play the objective in Battlefield 1. I really like that. I also can't believe somebody hadn't blown up my tank by now. See, it almost got blown up right there. That's another thing in Battlefield 2042. I think they made it way too easy to kill the vehicles. They made the infantry way too OP. And in Battlefield 1, if you knew what you were doing, you could definitely take out some tanks on your own. In fact, I think I have like a whole Battlefield montage of me just using anti-tank weapons and just destroying a bunch of tanks as an infantry soldier. So you could do it if you knew what you were doing, but if you didn't have anyone on your squad that was focused on destroying vehicles, a lot of times someone on the enemy team would take a tank and just go ham like I'm doing right now. I'll have to wait till the scoreboard pulls up again to see where I'm at here. I used to have a bad habit in respawn games of every time I got a kill or every time I died, pulling up the scoreboard. Like, it was just a habit. I don't think I do that when I get kills, only when I die. I would just, as soon as I die, I would pull up the scoreboard to see how many kills to deaths I have. This has got to be like somewhere. Oh, look at this. This tank is just so OP. So many players just don't notice that the tank is there as they spawn in and run towards the objective, and by the time they do realize, it's just too late.
We have taken objective Charlie.
The tanks, they always make the tanks so quiet in Battlefield. I don't know if you've ever been around a tank in real life or like been to a reenactment or some kind of museum where they actually like roll around in a tank. But those things are loud. They do not sneak up on you. And it's not like the movies where a tank just comes out from the woods and you're like, oh my god, a tank. No, you'll hear that thing coming from like a mile away. And same thing with helicopters. They are so loud. Like a lot of times in movies, you know, that like there'll be like people on the roof, like it's an action movie, you know, there'll be people on the roof, you know, and then they're doing something and all of a sudden a helicopter just appears out of nowhere and like starts shooting the Gatling guns at them. It's like, I'm sorry, did you guys not hear the helicopter coming? Because when there's a helicopter that flies over my house at 3 in the afternoon, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet in the air, that shit shakes my windows. I can hear that. It is not going to sneak up on me. I'll be like, what the F is coming? So in like every Battlefield ever, I'm always upset when a tank sneaks up on me because I'm like, can you please make it so I can hear the tank coming instead of it just blending in like with all the background noise, you know? Maybe if I was like in real life, if I was like deafened from all the gunshots and couldn't hear anything anyway, maybe. But I feel like in a video game, you should be able to hear the tank coming. But I snuck my tank up on so many people and got snuck up on by tanks so many times in Battlefield, I just accepted, like, alright, this is one of the things about Battlefield that just doesn't make any sense. The tanks are like hybrid, or they're like electric cars. You just don't hear them until they're right on top of you. Holy crap. See, this guy knew what he was doing. He didn't hit my tank very well, but he probably could have taken me out. See, he was doing the right thing. He took half the health away from my tank right there. He had the anti-tank grenades and he had the anti-tank gun. But you have to know the weak points. That's another thing about Battlefield 1 that was great, and Battlefield 4, is there was weak points on the vehicles. So if you shot the vehicle... If you shot the front of the vehicle where it had the most armor plating, usually... Wow. Usually... Why is nobody shooting that guy except me? Like, teammates are just running past him. So if you shoot the side of the vehicle or the back of the vehicle in Battlefield, it tends to do so much more damage than shooting the front of it, which is the most armored part. So whenever I was an anti-tank soldier, I would make sure to sneak up on the tanks and either hit them from the back or the side. So it would be like 2 or 3 anti-tank grenades, or 1 anti-tank grenade regular, 2 of the big anti-tank grenades, and then 1 or 2 shots with the anti-tank rifle would take it out. And I think I made entire montages of me just running around and destroying tanks. So this gameplay might seem like, oh, he's in a tank and he can't be killed, it's super OP. No, there's a reason that I'm 73-0 right now, and it's because I'm simply a god at this game, or at least I was in 2016. No. The enemy team is just not focused on destroying vehicles. You can see other tanks out there as well. My team has like 3 tanks going right now, and they're pretty much all infantry. All they would need is just 1 or 2 squads to communicate well with each other and focus on destroying the tanks, and they would. You know, if you got 4 guys that attack a tank with anti-tank grenades and anti-tank guns, that tank does not stand a chance. If you attack it from all the different angles, I would not be able to shoot every single one of them. And that happened in so many matches. But this just happened to be one of the matches where nobody on the enemy team was focused on destroying the tank. So it worked out well. It worked out well. And I still can't believe I never uploaded this. Look at the lighting effects. Look at the sun. The way the sunlight hits the tank. This was freaking 7 years ago, people, and this is Xbox One graphics. And this is just amazing. It just makes me wonder what the hell is going on with all these new games that are just so unoptimized and so shitty. Like, if we could do this almost a decade ago, why did we even need a next-gen console, you know, or the 20 and 30 series of graphics cards, you know? Why not just focus on the gameplay and keep the graphics nice and decent like this, but not go overboard, and give players just a quality shooter experience? I think all of the people out there that are shooter fans, or most people, would agree that we don't care too much about high quality graphics. We care about high quality gameplay. We care about ping and response time. We don't care about being able to play in 4K resolution and see amazing graphics. Don't get me wrong. It's nice to have good graphics. It adds to the realism and the immersion of the game. But I don't think that's what the focus should be on when it comes to shooters, you know? And now we have all these games coming out that are unoptimized, that are like, oh, we're trying to fix the graphics and get them working better. It's like, we don't care about the texture on the rock. I want my sniper rifle to hit where I aim it. That's what I care about. I want balance for weapons. I don't want Warzone metas where I have to change the gun that I use every 2 weeks because they nerfed one and buffed another one. You know, take us back to the Battlefield 1 days, man. This was actually freaking fun. Battlefield Hardline, excuse me. Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, even Battlefield 3 was pretty amazing. And now we're talking a decade ago. I mean, Battlefield 4 came out in 2013, I believe. And that game had amazing graphics for its time. Even comparable to shooters today, you know? Man, I said I was done ranting, but I guess not. I found something else to rant about. This match is almost over. If you guys have made it this far, just listening to me ramble on about gaming and Battlefield nostalgia and PUBG, you guys deserve somebody to smack your like button. You know what I mean? So let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video, what you think, and let me know what you think about the current state of gaming, and if you agree or disagree with any of the things that I said. Oh, there's a pilot. I remember the pilots would parachute out of their planes when they get destroyed, and they were easy picking. Let's see, the enemy team is actually not doing so bad. As far as kills go, this is a blowout, but as far as the score goes, we're on 826, they're on 691, so they're only like 140 points behind. So that's actually pretty cool. Even though it seems like this is a total slaughter, the enemy was doing a good job of playing and holding the objectives. I think the only mistake they made was not focusing hard enough on anti-tanks. On anti-tank play. And this was the only time you could get a third-person perspective in Battlefield 1, is when you were in a vehicle.
George.
That'd be kind of cool if they did that in PUBG, where even if you played in first person, you could still drive a vehicle in third person. They do that in Warzone. A lot of people don't like the view from inside the vehicle when they're driving. It's too limited. It's not like real life, where you... In real life, obviously, you drive a car in first person, but in video games, it's kind of awkward to drive a car in first person, at least for me. Alright, we're about to capture Duff. That's what they called it back then. They called it Duff. Not to be confused with Fluff.
We have taken objective George.
All the buildings were destructible too. The beginning of the match, all the buildings were like pristine and in good shape, and by the end of the match, the walls, the buildings, the walkways, look at it, everything was just leveled. This game was so immersive and so good. And I really hope that even though Battlefield has made shitty games for the past 5 years, that they will come out with another banger like this. Just imagine the hype. Just imagine the hype if they actually came out with another good Battlefield game. Even the dedicated Battlefield players are just tired. Even if they don't admit it. All the guys playing 2042 that are like, oh man, this Battlefield is still good, there's nothing wrong with it. Trust me, they would change their tune if a game like a Battlefield game like this came out. They'd be like, oh, this is so much better. I just didn't want to admit it. Oh man. Oh yeah, and then the big behemoths that would come in, like on this one it's a ship, I think. To the end, the losing team would get a behemoth to try and help them level the score out. I mean, this game was balanced, bro. Don't get me wrong. There were some major blowouts. Like in any game, no matter how balanced it is, if you have one team that's shitty and another team that's good, it's going to be a freaking blowout. Like that's just what's going to happen. Man, I can't believe I hit that guy. What? Why am I not shooting at that tank right there? Am I blind? Ah, there we go. Getting some side hits on the tank. Oh boy, it's about to blow up. Oh yeah, look at those graphics. That is so cool. So immersive. I feel like I should go back to Battlefield 1, but I already play a game that's 6 years old, and that's PUBG. Alright, we only need 21 more points, and then we won this match. The scoreboard was a lot easier to understand in BF1 than BF4, that's for sure. Battlefield Hardline Hotwire was like the best game mode ever. Anyway, guys, this video is about done. I think it's going to end with 84 kills and 0 deaths from the tank. If you enjoyed this video and you made it this far and you haven't smacked the like button already, what the hell, man? Smack that like button and leave a comment. I love reading your comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this 84-0 Battlefield 1 video from 7 years ago that I never uploaded to my YouTube channel. And yeah, I hope you enjoy your day and have a good holiday weekend. I'll see you guys next time. Taylor Swift for life. Bye.